Hello, if you're just joining us on YouTube, welcome to Tuesday Tips live across Facebook and YouTube here on Digital DJ Tips. It's great to be here. As you can see, Steve's with me today. And the reason we've got full strength here today is we want to give you a demo of this unit that we've been reviewing. Of course, it's this, the Denon DJ Prime 4. We've had it in the studio now after a wrestle with the customs people for a little while, and we've certainly had an afternoon to get used to it. This week we're writing and presenting our review of this unit for you. But for now, we want your questions. What do you want answering about this unit? That's what it's all about today. Maybe you want to know about the wonderful screen on it. We'll talk you through that. Maybe you want to know about the way the new effects units work. Whatever it is you want to know about the unit, you give us a shout, tell us, have a little look at it there. It's nice, isn't it? Tell us what you want us to tell you, and we'll do our very best to make it happen for you. So there we go. That's the effects part of this unit here. So that's what this is all about today. It's about you telling us what you want to know about this unit. If you have just joined us, by the way, like for the first time, this is Tuesday Tips Live from Digital DJ Tips. It's where we help you with anything in the DJ world. Could be how to get gigs, could be how to deal with confidence, could be a great new bit of gear. We just pick something each week that's being talked about in our community, and we bring it to you. So if you are new to this, hit that notification, subscribe, all that stuff. Make it all happen because you'll be notified when we go live. And trust me, things regularly go wrong. So you're going to want to be here live. Some very, very early hellos before we get stuck in. This is what we're looking at today. This unit here, the Prime 4 from Denon DJ. Jean-Pierre says hi from Miami. Oh, good. I hope you had a good time at the Miami conference, Jean-Pierre. Hi to Darren, who is in Australia. Hi to Arno. To Keith. What does it sound like? Sounds really, really good, Keith. To Curtis, who says, can I have one, please? Jean-Pierre says, I've been looking at this and the SC5000. We've actually got the SC5000 here as well, because we're going to do a little bit of a comparison between the Jog Wheels, because they are different. So Spinning Call says hi. Paul Stradling says hi from the French Riviera. Hi to Mac Joseph, who says, I will get back to you, Mac. Hi to Enair, who says, does it have good quality on its master tempo feature? Yeah. We've just been testing it, actually. Yeah, it sounds really, really nice. And hello to DJ Michael Nunes from Tuscan, and to Vortexplore Email, who says hello from the east of the UK. Can we use 2 USB sticks at the same time? Yes, you can do more than that. You can use 4 USBs, an SD card, and a plug-in SATA hard drive underneath. Yep. And you just switch between them on the screen. So you keep asking your questions.
Some hellos on Facebook as well, if you want to go through those.
Steve's going to go through a couple of those, and we'll be ready to go. Off you go.
Hi to Avinav, how you doing? Michael, Ken Schenk, good to have you here, man. DJ Blaze, Mario Luna, good morning to you, sir.
Hi, Mario.
Mike has asked, is it Serato DJ ready?
It is not ready, but they're promising that it's going to be ready. We plugged Serato DJ in and nothing happened, but they are promising it's going to be ready soon. So
Richard says hello, Henry says hello, good to have you here. Ethan Leo, who of course has been dominating Denon DJ.
Shall we dial him in and he can just do it for us?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Good to see you, Ethan. Brian says good morning, and we've got a few questions. Ken wants to know everything.
Right, okay, well, you know, Ken, we ought to get started, really. We actually got some music, so believe it or not, we've set the decks up, and I think you can probably hear those. So maybe give us some thumbs up on Facebook if you can, so we can just tell that you can hear the music. I'm not even sure you can tell. You can see thumbs up on desktop Facebook. Anyway, yeah. So Steve's going to do a demo of a couple of features and functions on here. Let us know if you can hear that music. We'll be interested, because it's taken an age to set this crappy software up. Makes Traktor look easy to use. No, only joking, Traktor people. Please test the master tempo, says Inea. Well, go on then, give them a test of the master tempo.
Okay, so first of all, we've got to make sure that we're at
the pitch range is really big.
Full range, so let's just check that. Doesn't sound like it at the moment, so
we're still getting used to this, so you're going to have to bear with us today. There's the pitch range showing there, so maybe if we go like that.
Yeah, that's 100 now.
There you go.
Yeah.
So obviously when you're down at 100, the track stops.
Let's put the screen down.
Yeah, yeah. And speed it up very slowly for you. Watch. I'll put the screen on here, and you can. There you go. Have a look at the screen. This is the waveform here. Watch the waveform as we speed it up. That's back to normal. Let's go up. So we're at plus 25% there. Still sounding pretty hot.
Mm-hmm.
So even there at plus 40, it's usable. Plus 50, plus 60, 70. So there you go, there's a demo of the way that sounds. I think you agree that sounds pretty good.
Probably among the best I've ever heard, I'd say.
We were quite, they're saying that that's quite a low volume, right? We'll turn that up a bit for you for the next bit of demoing. But yeah, that's some of the best we've heard. It's as good as Elastic in Tractor, as good as Serato's, to our ears on first listen. So that's the time stretching. Let me just do a little bit of a talk through what we've got here for people who aren't used to it. So this is a standalone DJ unit. We're running everything off an SD card slot here on the unit. So there's nothing here that is plugged into the laptop. The laptop's just there for Steve to read comments out from. This is totally standalone. It's got this big screen at the top here, and this screen comes with a cover that clips over it like that, which is actually quite nice. So if I show you the overhead view there, it's got this cover so that keeps it safe when you're not using the unit. It's got a clip out stand at the back, which you pull out, and then you can set that to where you want, which again is quite nice because you can have different viewing angles. I'm going to leave it all the way down just so that we've got that really tight zoom in to show you various features and functions of it. So the screen is touch screen. So if we're zoomed in, watch this. See, I'm zooming in and out on that waveform there. It's really quite responsive. Actually, we can't see that because I'm not zoomed in on the waveform. Slighter. There we go. Or maybe it's just a live broadcast. It looks a bit weird. Right, there we go. Anyway, you can see I'm zooming in and out on the waveform. And it also works with music. So your tracks, you can pull them to prepare them or to load them. So if I pull this track to the right, it will give me a choice of decks to load it to. I can put a copy of this onto deck 2 now as well, just by touching it. You also have load buttons down here on the below the unit as well, on this section here.
On the controller itself, yeah.
So the controller itself has got a load section as well. So there's some duplication between functions there. So the touch screen is important because it controls pretty much everything about this unit. Once your music is in there, it's analysed on the software, but it's actually controlled from here. So once your music's in, this is acting like a laptop. So it's a bit like DJing with an iPad plugged into a really big system. I think it's probably the best way of describing it. It's got that same kind of quality. It's a solid glass screen and it's smooth, it scrolls smoothly. Now, a couple of you are asking about waveforms. The waveforms have to be where you see them there. They're not parallel at the moment, but they are coming. Parallel waveforms is coming. So the way you see them here, deck 1 and deck 2, like that, that's the way it is. But apparently parallel waveforms are coming. So if you're a fan of parallel waveforms, that's on its way.
Apparently our fantastic demo of the master tempo feature may need to be redone. It was too quiet. Everyone's saying have another go.
Everyone's saying have another go. Right, let's turn it up and do it again. I won't take so long this time. Let's do master tempo again. I want you immediately to tell us if you can hear this. I've got a reason. I know why. They can hear it now.
Cause it's time to move on. Hear the drummer get wicked.
That's minus 83.
Let's move on, cause it's time to move on. Hear the drummer get wicked. Let's move on, cause it's time to move on. Hear the drummer get wicked.
That was at plus 80. Where I left that there was at plus 80. So it does go really, really high. Sorry about that. We didn't have the controller or the system plugged into the broadcast system. So
a few people excited about that as well.
It's my fault.
Including Dex, who said, and God said, let there be sound.
Awesome. I was sorry about that, guys. But, you know, this is live streaming. We're at the cutting edge as well. And it's not just this thing at the cutting edge. Believe me. Right, okay. That sounds great, says NAR. How about having Serato next to it to hear? Oh, Douglas, give us a break, man. It's taken us an hour to set this up. Okay, so we've talked to you about the waveforms. I've shown you pinching and stuff. I've shown you the way you can load tracks. Let's have a talk about the effects units because the effects units are quite interesting. So let's have a close zoom in on one of the effects sides. So this is the way it works. So Steve is now showing you that when you move the knobs here, these little displays are black and white, but they're really cool. They tell you what effect you've got set and then how far the parameters are set. So for instance, so we just play something and get an effect playing across a track.
We'll go with a classic echo, shall we? Okay, so switch. So you select the effect here, and then that switches it on and off. The button underneath. By default, they're set to post fader,
Which is nice.
Okay, so just going to keep the volume level a bit low so you can hear us talking. So here you've got, this is the dry wet control. So this is effectively the mix of the effect mixed with the original source, and in the middle there is the 50%. And then underneath that you can actually change, this is where you change the beats or the proportions of beats.
What's really nice about these is the way that the unit lets you see what you're doing, because really, think about it, you're going to be missing the feedback of a screen, of a big laptop screen, and it's got right where you need it. You can see where you're adjusted. One thing we didn't find is the parameter control down at the bottom of the unit here. The parameter control is where you can adjust like the slicer, or the loops, whether you're looping a small set or a higher set.
So quarter beat, eighth beat.
But we couldn't see a way to do that, to see where you set that. We couldn't see anywhere on the screens that it let you do that. So that's a little question mark we've got next to the unit.
So depending on the effect, you've got different controls. You may have extra parameters on certain effects, but on the echo here, we've got feedback. So it's effectively how long the tail of the echo will last, and the frequency as well. So you can actually set the frequencies which will go through the effect itself, and you can scroll left to go down.
So that's only low frequencies coming through.
Yeah, and then up to only let high frequencies through, and then when you get to the middle, it says
it's all frequencies.
It says all bands. Yeah.
Okay, so you can actually, it's a bit like a low pass and a high pass filter, but for the effects which is quite a nice thing. There's a nice effect here called
there's the beat.
Hang
on, I've got to try and remember it. Not bit crush.
No, it's beat break.
Yeah,
let's have a little demo of beat break, because this sounds, it basically.
This is on the X1800 mixer as well. The Denon DJ.
Well, a lot of people won't have seen that, so.
Yeah. So
it lets you chop up a beat in quite an interesting way. So
let's just jump a bit further into the track. And this is a good track to do it with because it's got lots of little hip hop samples and very drummy. So let's have a listen. And what it's doing is it's sampling parts of the beat, and it's creating a pattern of stabbed samples, and the pattern is here. It shows you which pattern it's doing, but you can change these patterns. So let's have a listen.
It's difficult. You have to play with it for a bit, and then all of a sudden you understand what it's doing. It would be nice for chopping up vocals. You could put a really smooth vocal through there and chop it up as well. Yep. So we quite like that. There's a bit of fun to be had with the beat break. Okay, let's tour around the questions and see what people want to know. Can you update new songs on the fly? You cannot change the metadata of the songs on the fly. We don't think you can say, oh, I want to rate this a 5, or I want to correct that spelling error. We've not found a way to do that.
Also, we haven't found how you can actually add tracks to crates yet.
No, we haven't, but we're sure
that could be user error.
We think that's pilot error.
Kevin says, can I create and store samples? Does it have a sampler?
No, there's no sampler at all. No. There's no sampler at all. So the hot cues, you get hot cue, loop, auto loop, loop roll, slicer, and slicer loop. That's what you get down there in that section.
Keith has asked, is it plastic or metal?
Metal, it feels really nice. Can it be mapped to Tractor 3? Probably. It does read Tractor files apparently. Like you can take your Tractor library and plug it in and it will see it all. But it can probably be mapped to Tractor 3. So
will it read Recordbox prepped USBs? No, we haven't.
It will.
Yeah, we haven't tested it yet.
But it just takes the music off them. We think it might do more than that, but we don't know. You know, we've been playing this for what, 2 hours? So we just haven't got the answers to some of those questions yet. I'm pretty sure the plan is for it to do so. I'm pretty sure the plan is, at least in the engine software, you can just plug your rekordbox collection in and it imports it and then it outputs it and then you can use rekordbox. But whether you can do it live, it will definitely take the music off it. I'm pretty sure it'll take the cues off it as well and stuff, but don't quote me on that.
Mick says horizontal waveforms. No, sorry, Mick. Although Ethan Leo did show a way that it could be done. He just took a photograph of it sideways.
That's one way of doing it for certain. All right then, other questions coming in. Any news on the MIDI clock, says Rob Meller. No, there is no news on MIDI clock. It has got various outputs on the back there, so the potential is there for it, but I don't think there was anything said about it, so I don't think it's there at launch. This isn't launched yet, by the way. We're testing it with beta software and all that kind of stuff.
Will says, how do you expect Denon's competition? Do you expect Denon's competition will up their game given all of these features? What's on the horizon?
Quite possibly they will. We haven't heard anything on the horizon for this year from Denon's obvious big competition, but you know, innovate or die, right? So I'm sure that that's on their roadmap. Let me just answer the jog wheel questions. Yeah. So this jog wheel here on this unit, which I'm just going to zoom in on for you. So the jog wheels in the center of there are much bigger than the jog wheels on the main unit here. Whoops. Much bigger than the jog wheels on this unit here. They are...
Let's get a ruler. I'm going to get
I've already done it, man. I've already done it. I wrote it down when I did it. He's going to do it live. These are 5 inches across or 6 inches across at the bottom of the jog wheel, whereas the other ones are 7 inches across at the top and 8 at the bottom. So these are basically 2 inches smaller. To us, on a controller this size, these could have been at least an inch bigger. I don't think jog wheel size is a massive problem, personally. However, Steve thinks that there might be another issue. Certainly, it's not ideal for scratching. Why did you find it wasn't ideal for scratching, Steve?
Well, I couldn't quite work out what it was. At first I thought it was the weight of the jog wheel itself, because it felt like that when you wanted to pull the sound back to a certain point, it would fly off. But actually we think it might be latency. Now it's worth mentioning again, this is the beta, right?
Yeah, so, and this could be, and it also could be pilot error. But if you do a really fast spin back,
so I'm going to spin this back and I'm going to stop. You can see the kind of readout on the actual...
watch where the dot is here. So that's currently at 3 o'clock, right?
I'm going to try and stop.
Just so people can see what we mean. It's now currently at 12 o'clock, right? Yeah. So Steve is a very good scratch DJ. He's going to spin it back and try and stop it at 9 o'clock.
Oh,
I think that's probably me with the fader here. There you go.
Right, you can see it there.
It jumped past 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So instead of stopping at 9, his finger hit the jog wheel at 9. Even I can do it, and I'm no scratch DJ. You see, I'm trying to stop it at 9 o'clock. That wasn't. I think it's down to how hard you push it. Actually, I think there's something about the. But anyway, there's something not quite 100%. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can scratch on it, right? Yeah. You've had a lot of fun scratching on it, but it's just not perfect at the moment. So again, we haven't finished our testing of this. Lots more questions coming in. Can I run virtual DJ on it? Yes, you will be able to. Probably not now. And I almost guarantee virtual DJ will get the screen working as well because they're just like that. But
is that the shot that people want to see? Do you think?
I don't know.
Probably the DJ gear.
Oh, there's the DJ gear. Go back to the gear. So should I sell my SC5000s and X1800? No. This is basically the controller version of that, unless you want the controller version of that. There are updates coming to those units to keep it up to date with this. So no, don't do that. I have a DDJ 1000 and I can tell you the Prime 4 is better, says Carlos. So there we go. The DDJ 1000 is a controller. This is a DJ system. This can act as a controller with Serato, but it's not a controller now. It's not plugged into a computer. This is a DJ system we're looking at, which is why it has that big fat screen there, which helps you to control it, because without this screen, you know, there's no way of controlling the system.
The search is really nice as well with the keyboard, full QWERTY keyboard, and actually Derek has said you can also plug in a keyboard to do quicker searches.
Yes, that's true. So you can plug in an old-fashioned keyboard, mobile DJ style, to do quicker searches. So I just wanted to quickly run through a few of the other points that we've discovered on the unit before we call it a day today. Steve can keep an eye on the questions while we're doing this. We found analysing was a little bit slow. It took from 900 tracks to 731 tracks, so it analysed about 170 in about 11 minutes. I guess that might be all right. To us, that's possibly a little bit... you know, it took a long time to analyse a reasonably small number of tracks for us. Could just be our poor old laptop. Loop rolls are quite forgiving. The loop rolls sound really nice. Which function did you use? you can't really mess up on loop rolls. Some DJ software is really a bit finicky with those, and it's like they felt really good. They made us look good. So we like loop rolls.
We like the loop function, didn't we, of the saved loops. So when you're in this loop mode here, you've got empty pads to start off with, and if you've got a loop set here, so I've got a 2-beat loop there. Now hit a pad and it will save that loop as you would.
There you go. It's good old. You thought it works till you do it live, because that's turned on.
Let's groove on.
Yeah, it's letting us down. Yeah.
Well, no, I think we're probably letting ourselves down. 2 hours with the unit, guys and girls. So, all right then.
But
so
the other thing I was going to say, which I hope will work on this, is that these are also start-stop points for loops to save them on the fly.
Time to
So you've
move
got the
on.
track playing.
Hear the drummer get wicked.
Start. So you see I set an in and out point by just pressing that for the in and then the out, and you can see that it actually saved that on the screen there.
up there
to
on
that
the
pad.
screen at the top there. So, so that's. We like the loops. We thought they worked really well. So I've got my pad out here so that I don't miss anything that we wanted to tell you. So the question a lot of you are asking is about metadata. Can you edit it on the unit? We don't think you can, but maybe we haven't found it yet. You can't search comments. A couple of you are asking if you can search comments. You can't. I think that's. I wish you could search comments. Why? Because searching comments could have important stuff in. You could have tags in it. You could have things about the way you DJ, like energy ratings and stuff like that you save in the comments tag. And if you can't search for them, it's a little bit of a pain. And we haven't found a way to do that. One little tip though, if you don't use the album column, it has got albums, so you could copy them across to there. Are the turntables direct drive? They're not. They're fixed. They're not. They don't spin. They're not motorized turntables. Beats by Confidence. Okay, so. Is it compatible with other DJ software? Says Nico. It's compatible with Serato DJ as a controller. Not yet, but they're promising it will be at launch. Anything else you got there, Steve?
Not really. There's
Covered most of it.
A couple of people just asking about this horizontal and vertical waveforms. It seems to be, people.
Yeah,
seem
well,
to like that.
waveforms here at the moment. You can see they're horizontal. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you. They're vertical, and a lot of people like horizontal. Watch this. If we stick split mode on.
Let's groove on, 'cause it's time to move on. Hear the drummer get wicked.
Why can't I get that to work, Steve? I want to split that. I want to split the cue. Oh yeah, look, you see. So split mode's on, and it splits the waveform, as you can see there. So the one on the left is where the track would have been if I hadn't held it and scratched it. The one on the right is what I'm doing. When I take my hand off the one off there, they join off again. See that? That's really nice. Not seen that before. It's a really nice way of showing you where you're at with split mode. And it makes you look pretty good when you're DJing, because you can wait for a beat and then drop it on the beat like that. And it's always going to be on the beat, which is cool. So split mode's nice. And you can always tell if you've got slip mode on, which is again nice, because how many times have we left slip mode on and not known why our DJing was going wrong, right? So that's a pretty cool function. I think we've pretty much covered here. I think our technical abilities on live streaming have just about held out, Steve. Any final comments?
Jamie's just asked, are the cue buttons and play buttons plastic or metal? They are plastic.
They're hard plastic and they feel really good. You don't get metal cue buttons. They tend to be plastic or rubber, and I prefer hard ones. They're just more. They're more responsive is the word.
And the pads feel great as well. Very, very responsive. They're big enough, so they feel good.
So overall, this is an exciting unit. We think that it needs a bit more investigation. This is a very, very early first look. We need to accept that it's got beta software. It's not even out yet, so they're going to improve the software. Once things get released, software tends to be the thing that they improve very quickly. The Engine Prime software is pretty limited if you're used to Rekordbox or Serato's offline mode. You don't get 2 decks, for instance. So you'd need to be patient to hope that they would continue working on that to improve it. But look, overall, this is a massively exciting unit. It's got the ability to stick a hard drive underneath. You can have all your music on it all the time. Just in itself, that's pretty awesome. But the power you feel with all these functions, the ability to read. Steve just plugged in a USB with a load of music on, hadn't been analysed or anything. Very quickly, it knew the key, had the waveforms. We were time stretching it. We were mixing it with beat grids. That's pretty powerful. You suddenly realise what you've got here is a computer with a big screen and a DJ controller all in one unit.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel like anything that's come before, for sure. DJ units like that until now have felt very limited, and suddenly it feels like it's not doing a lot of what it can, the potential that's in it. So yeah, it's quite exciting. We're looking forward to doing the full review. Hope we've answered some of your questions today. Hope the audio held out so you could hear and see what we were doing for at least some of it. All that's left for us to say is, if you're watching on the replay, hit those like, share, follow, comment, and notify and subscribe and all that stuff, because guess what? Next time we do one, you'll find out, and then you can watch live instead of having to watch the replay. If you join halfway through, you can watch the replay. It'll be live very soon. That's it, we're done. Cool. Get good, get out there and make the moments, people. And we'll leave you one last look at that lovely Prime 4. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.